Tonight, the WNBA world is buzzing because Lexie Hull has broken her silence, and she's pulling no punches. She's calling out Aliyah Wilson for what she says are dirty, dangerous plays during the Fever versus Aces series. Was this just hard, borderline defense, or did Wilson cross a serious line? Lexie claims she's been targeted, shoved, and blocked in ways that jeopardize her safety. She's speaking out publicly for the first time, and what she's saying has everyone talking. Who are Lexie Hull and Aliyah Wilson? Stakes and context. Before we tackle the accusations, let's establish who these players are and why this matters. Lexie Hull is a rising star for the Indiana Fever, a guard/wing known for scrappy defense, fearless drives, and an underdog mentality. She isn't the flashiest name yet, but she's built her reputation on grit, hustle, and refusing to be outmuscled. On the other side, Aliyah Wilson, a superstar in the league, MVP accolades, championship pedigree, dominant interior presence, and the respect and sometimes fear of most opponents. She has earned a ceiling of deference in many matchups. Now, when a rising star publicly accuses a league titan of dirty plays, the imbalance of power is immediately apparent. Lexie's speaking out means risk. Wilson already has the spotlight. The David versus Goliath dynamic is baked in. But the stakes go beyond ego. For Lexie, it's about safety, respect, and carving space in the league. For Wilson, it's about reputation and legacy. For the WNBA, it's about how they enforce fairness and protect their players. The core allegations, what Lexie is saying. Let's get into the heart of it. What exactly Lexie is accusing Aliyah Wilson of. Excess physicality/deliberate contact. Lexie claims Wilson is initiating overly aggressive contact, using elbows, forearms, bumps into her torso. Not just incidental but intentional. Unsafe blocks/verticality violations. She alleges that when Wilson contests in the air, she sometimes leans forward, invades her landing zone, or encroaches in a way that puts Lexie at risk. Ambiguous non-calls/lack of accountability. Lexie insists that many times she has taken hits or been shoved and the referees let them slide, especially when her complaints grow louder. Psychological intimidation. Beyond the physical, Lexie says there's messaging behind the plays. Send a warning, shake her confidence, show dominance. She feels some plays are meant to dictate how she moves. Video evidence and breakdown. Lexie's case leans heavily on video evidence. Clips she and fans share, slowed down, replayed, dissected. Let's walk through the most contentious ones. Clip A, baseline drive collision. Lexie attacks the rim, Wilson rotates hard. There's visible body contact. Wilson's elbow/forearm into Lexie's torso. Lexie stumbles. Is Wilson glancing off her or committing an overstep? Clip B, midair contest. Lexie shoots. Wilson rises to block. But Wilson appears to lean forward, brushing Lexie's midsection as both descend. Was it bucket blocking or breach of verticality? Clip C, after play shove. Loose ball rebounds. Lexie scrambles. In the fray, Wilson is seen nudging or pushing Lexie's back. It's subtle, but when slowed, the push stands out. Clip D, post-whistle contact. After the whistle, Lexie asserts Wilson lingers, leaning into her, making physical contact outside normal play. Pattern, escalation, and intent. A single ambiguous contact might be defensible, but when multiple plays accumulate, we begin to see patterns and perhaps intention. Lexie argues these are not isolated incidents. Over the series, she points to repeated sequences. Every time she presses Wilson, she gets extra contact. As the games progress, the physical intensity seems to escalate. Moves that were borderline in Game 1 become more overt by Game 3 or 4. Key factors. Repetition. If similar aggressive contacts recur across games, that implies more than coincidence. Escalation. The aggression ramps up, particularly in high-stakes or close moments. Targeted matchups. Lexie claims she often draws Wilson's attention, and thus the roughest treatment. Officials' consistency. Are referees calling similar plays when roles reverse? Or does Wilson get leeway over time? Reactions, fans, analysts, and former players. Once Lexie's words and clips started circulating, reactions poured in, and predictably, they're mixed. Fans, some rally around Lexie, praising her courage and demanding accountability. Others accuse her of overreacting, stating, "This is playoff basketball. Get used to contact." The social media trenches are polarized. Basketball analysts/commentators. Many say Wilson plays physical and demands respect, but they caution about judging without full context. Some argue Lexie's frames are selectively highlighted. Others defend Lexie's right to speak up, especially as a newer player facing a star. Former players/WNBA insiders. Their voices carry weight. A few acknowledge that younger players sometimes take more hits without recourse. Some emphasize the need for consistency in officiating. Others urge both sides to show restraint and resolve matters internally. League, officials, and rules. Where is the accountability? Lexie's claims force us to scrutinize the structures in place. The WNBA, officiating mechanics, and rule enforcement. Referees/officiating consistency. Lexie's central grievance. Similar contact gets called, or not called, depending on who's involved. The question, do referees apply standards impartially, or do stars benefit from discretion? Post-game reviews/disciplinary process. Is there an internal review system? For example, are borderline plays after the whistle or aggressive collisions reviewed retroactively? Are fines or warnings ever applied? So far, Lexie suggests she's seen none. League statements/silence. At time of writing, the WNBA has not issued a detailed public explanation or investigation. That silence amplifies the tension. Some insiders say leagues avoid fueling controversy. Others believe the WNBA must act to preserve integrity and safety. Risks, rewards, and the reason to speak up. Lexie's decision to go public is bold, and comes with significant stakes. Risks she faces, backlash and criticism. Some will paint her as dramatic, seeking attention, or making excuses. Ref bias. Refs might perceive her as a complainant, possibly influencing future calls unfavorably. Locker room politics. Veterans or star players may feel challenged or offended. Psychological pressure. Being spotlighted in controversy can take a mental toll. Narrative damage. If her claims are disproven or dismissed, she bears reputational risk. What she could gain: visibility and respect. She asserts her right to safety and fairness, not to be bullied. Accountability. Pushing for greater oversight may protect her and others. Impact on careers and legacies. This confrontation has implications beyond one series. It could touch the generational trajectories of both athletes. For Lexie Hull, if her claims find validation, she becomes not just a rising player but a strong voice for fairness and safety. If dismissed harshly, she risks being labeled as contentious or fragile, something she would have to overcome. Her handling, clarity, composure, follow-up, will influence how fans, media, and league see her. For Aliyah Wilson, already a decorated star, Wilson's legacy carries weight. These allegations could introduce lingering doubts about how she plays at the margins. If she responds with poise and respect, she might emerge unscathed, or even gain sympathy. If she ignores or responds defensively, narratives might harden against her. What could happen next? Possible outcomes. Let's lay out potential trajectories following Lexie's revelations. Internal investigation launched. The WNBA might review footage, gather referee reports, interview both players, and decide if any plays violated policy. Fines/warnings/suspensions. If some plays are deemed excessive or intentional, Wilson, or even others, could receive league action. Policy or rule changes. The league might refine definitions of unsafe contact, add clearer guidelines, or increase enforcement penalties. Public statements/clarifications. Lexie or Wilson could issue follow-up statements to clarify intent, express regret, or defend stance. Escalation on court. Future matchups may intensify. Players may play more cautiously or more aggressively. The psychological edge becomes part of the game. What to watch and your role as a fan. As this story evolves, here's what to keep your eyes on. League announcements. Will the WNBA issue a report or findings? Will they adjust rules or officiating policy? Official statement from Aliyah Wilson. Will she acknowledge, defend, remain silent? Her tone and words carry weight. Further comments from Lexie Hull. Will she provide more context, calm the tone, or double down? In-game calls going forward, watch if similar contact is called differently. Who gets benefit of the doubt? Future matchups/rematches. How will both players behave if they meet again? Will tensions linger